Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Orchids, and welcome to the last video of 2020. Now it's only going to be quite a quick one this, and I thought for the last video we'd do something on paphiopedilums. Now as you all know, we just look at a paphiopedilum and we class it as a paphiopedilum, but there are so many classifications of paphiopedilums that if you read all about it, you tend to get a little bit confused. So, you know, there's the brachypetalums, a lot of subgenuses of them, and oh, the heat has just come on. The brachypetalums take in things like vellatulum and nivium and so forth, and then we have the polyanthus, which take in all the multiflorals. You know, the sandrianums, the rothschildianums, the Philippinenses, loiais, and all the ones that have, of course, multiflorals. There's all sorts of things, but I think for this video, what we'll do, we'll just class them all as paphiopedilums. Well, I think we'll start off by looking first at the delanatus. I've got one here, you can see. If you can see there, I don't know if I haven't blocked all the room up with this, but as you can see, they've got very, very beautiful leaves, all two-tone green and very, very dark underneath. There is one called the Delanati vinicolor, which is virtually very, very dark purple underneath, but these are sort of a mottled effect. But getting that way to a nice purple. Now these are supposed to be very easy to grow, and what I say is they're all easy to grow if you give them the right conditions. Every plant will grow, whether it's paphiopedilum, phragmipedium, anything you care to mention. If you give it the right conditions, it will grow. Excuse me. Now these delanatis, they do like a lot of light. You know, the heat, they'll take a nice intermediate heat, and what they don't like is heavy watering. They just like to keep nice and moist and not mess around with, just leave them in the pot once you've got them nice and let them grow. Now if you grow them in too high a light, then the leaves will become a little bit pale, and the flowers won't be as colourful. But if you grow them in sort of a deep shade, it'll take longer to bloom, but the leaves will have a nice crystalline effect. There'll be a lovely dark green, and the blooms will be much more colourful with a very deep pink on them. So that's all I can say about the delanatis. I'm experimenting with these for different mediums, but I'll let you know how I'll go on with them in the next in the next year. Right, the next one we'll look at is this Philippinense. Now these are lovely little plants. Well, they're not little, but they're beautiful plants, these, and they come from Borneo, and the places they grow are in the leaf mould on the forest floor, of course, and they're also found growing epiphytically. They grow into very, very large plants, these, and that will take quite a long time. As you can see, this, I hope you can see it from there, this has got a nice new growth there, and another new growth coming up there in the middle. So maybe this will flower in 2021, hopefully. Now with Philippinense, you've got to be very careful, because the mother plant to this one passed on. You can you'll not be able to see it from there, but it's the stump of the last one. So these are two growths of it. You've got to be very careful if you're trying to split these. You know, if you've got a plant, quite a big plant with a lot of new growth on it, and you want to split them, always make sure that the new growth has roots on it, because the mother plant has a bad habit in this species of not supplying roots to the new growth until the new growth is 2 years or above older. So that's Philippinense. Now the next one I'd like to show you is this little, it's just slightly bigger than a seedling of a plant. It's an adductum, and these are not very easy to come by. You don't see them advertised very often. They're a beautiful, beautiful plant, and I think they may be classed as multifloral when they do grow. And I've had this plant now for a couple of years, and it's shown to be very, very slow growing, although it's putting up a new leaf this year. But one leaf a year, you know, and it takes a long while to get a decent plant. Now these like moisture, of course, like all the paphiopedilums, and plenty of it. And they also like very bright light. And like most path, they're like an intermediate temperature to being a warm grower, with temperatures from around, 60 Fahrenheit to highs of, what should I say, 80, 85 Fahrenheit. They'll stand that, and a few degrees lower in the winter month. Now this is Paphiopedilum Supercooling, and these are lovely little plants, and they might be one of the easiest there are to grow. As before, like the delanatus, you've got mottled leaves, excuse me, but not quite as intensely coloured as the delanatus. This one you can see is just coming into spike, if you can see there, right in the middle. And I look forward to showing you that spike in 2021. I mean, these, they are easy to grow, and they multiply very, very quickly, and they soon become a specimen plant. So that is Paphiopedilum Supercooling. Now this one is a Paphiopedilum farianum, one of my favourite paths of all time. Absolutely gorgeous, blooms on them, looking very Victorian, and they're sort of beautifully striped purple, and have a look them up on the web and you'll see how beautiful they are. This is supposed to be very easy to grow. I mean, I've had these now 12 months. It's grown 1, 2 leaves, that's all. And I find these very difficult, as a lot of other growers do as well. And the main reason for its lack of difficulty is it seems to be a bad inability to grow roots properly. You know, I've never found out what the secret is to grow roots on these, I'll be honest with you. And it says that the plants come from monsoon regions in Bhutan, the northern India, and it should be given plenty of water. But I find that if you give it plenty of water, then it doesn't do the plant any good, and the roots will rot. They do like a drying out period in winter, say for 5 or 6 weeks, which I will give these. But this species I have bloomed 2 or 3 times, absolutely beautiful. But after they finish blooming, and the blooms last for anything up to 2 months, even more than that, the plants die off before they start putting up any new growth. And it's, I don't know, I got 3 more of these in 2020, and they're living, but they're at a complete standstill. But I'll keep these dry because the blooms are one of the most striking amongst all orchids, and we'll see if the dry period can do it any good. Now this one here is one of my favourites of all time, and it's a cross between the king of Paphiopedilums and the queen of paphiopedilums, which are the Rothschildianum and the Sandrianum. And these make the most wonderful, wonderful blooms. I mean, this bloomed, well, not this, once again, the mother of this one just collapsed after flowering, but luckily it had a new growth, and this is the new growth, and this is now about 2 years old. But the mother had some beautiful, beautiful flowers on them. It had 3 gorgeous ones, a lovely cross between Rothschildianum and Sandrianum. Absolutely gorgeous. You've got to see them too. You can't describe them, they're so beautiful. But I'm hoping this will flower in 2021. And I would love to show you that in flower again, because I've grown that from a small one. And that one I would be very proud of. Sum up on these paphiopedilums, we've got to remember that the watering of them, and if you remember the old grow on the leaf mould on the forest floors, they never penetrate the soil because they're not epiphytes. I got that wrong, didn't I? They don't penetrate the soil because they're not terrestrials, but sometimes they are epiphytes. So I wonder if trying one on a mount and keeping it moist, letting it dry out, keeping it moist again, would it survive? Might be worth a little experiment next year, that one. Now, as for feeding, these aren't heavy feeders. In fact, you can keep these plants without ever feeding them at all. And if you feed them on tap water, they'll get what they want from the tap water, the calcium, etc. The only trouble is with tap water, I think, is that they put so much stuff in to make it fit for human consumption that you know, it can't be good at the long term for plants. So yeah, but feed them. If you want to feed them very lightly. I mean, I'll probably feed these very lightly once a month, and that's about all they'll get. As regards light, they're not very fussy about the light. You know, a lot of people say if you don't give them light, they'll never flower. But a lot of these grow in shade, so don't be frightened of giving them too much light. Don't be frightened of giving them too little light. But I would say the light they need is a little bit more than you give the Philippinense. This is one half of the plant that I split up, and this is a Lady Isabel. It flowered earlier, and I showed that on my videos. And this is a cross between Stony Eye and Rothschildianum. Absolutely beautiful. And if you remember, I've got another one exactly the same size as this, and it was one plant, but it had never flowered. So I split it, and within 6 months of being split, this one flowered. So I don't know what to say about that, because I'm a great believer in splitting them. I mean, a lot of people don't agree with me, but every time I split a plant, which includes the paphiopedilums as well, the ones that haven't bloomed, they've all bloomed after I've split them. And the heater's come on again, so I do apologise for the noise. I'll put that on one side. Well, I've only got one plant in flower of the paphiopedilums, and this is it, the Corolla Ordinary. And this is the cross between the Prince Edward of York and I think it's Glaucophyllum, something like that. And these are beautiful flowers, not half as nice as the full Edward of York, but nevertheless one worth having. Well, I think that's about all I can show you now today. I'd like just to wish everybody a very, very healthy and prosperous New Year. I hope all the things that you wish for yourself come true, and that 2021 is a better year for us all. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your support, in 2020 and before. Thank you for all my subscribers, and until next time, or until next year, I'll see you later. Bye.